You know, that scene really softened the blow of taking a hit. No, I'm still ticked off, and now I'm gonna beat this game if it's the last frickin' day I do. Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back is a platform game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the Sony PlayStation console. Released in North America on November 6, 1997, and is the second game in the original PlayStation 1 trilogy. It stars Crash that he is captured by Dr. Neo Cortex and tricked into finding crystals for Cortex, who claims it's to save the world. Hang on to your hats because we're entering the world of Crash Bandicoot. Let's start with the gameplay. We have some new moves to utilize as Crash when compared to the first game. There's still the spin attack and jumping on enemies, but you can also jump in the air and then slam down against the ground to break harder crates. You can also crawl and slide, and trust me when I say in some stages, sliding will save your life. We still got bosses. I tell you, so many bosses. But at least they don't fall on your head at the end of a stage if you don't collect them all. Most of these bosses contain Wumpa fruit, while others may have a Witch Doctor mask or extra lives. The TNT bosses make a return, but we also have the added addition of Green Nitro bosses, which will explode as soon as you approach them, and these steel crates that can only be broken via a Crash body slam attack. This time around, bonus stages are not acquired through finding faces of certain characters, but instead you can find a space with a crescent mark on it which will take you to the bonus stage, and then you can collect Wumpa fruit and extra lives like it's candy. Remember when I complained during my review of the first game that you can only save after completing a bonus stage? Well, Crash Bandicoot 2 fixes this problem by allowing a save room in the warp rooms you go to enter each stage. Just go up to the big screen and save whenever you please, and you never have to worry about repeating the level. There are 5 warp rooms overall, with each warp room having 5 stages you can complete in any order you wish. In between warp rooms are boss stages you have to complete in order to get to the next one. There are only 5 crystals to collect, meaning only 5 stages not counting boss stages. And the further into the warp rooms you get, the harder the difficulty spike. But this game isn't nearly as hard as its predecessor, but it's still fairly challenging and frustrating once you get to a certain spot. This time we have the addition of winter stages, where you're fighting on snow and ice. We also have the return of water levels where you're jumping on platforms and riding on things to break crates and avoid whirlpools. And also the boulder and widening stages make a comeback, the later involving a baby polar bear.
What are you doing to that baby cub?
Nothing. Nothing at all. In later levels, the boulder gets replaced by a freaking giant man-eating polar bear.
I'm going to eat you.
Lucky, what are you doing?
I'm going to tear you apart. Get off my baby.
No way.
Damn you, TJ.
Well, well, well. If it isn't Crash Bandicoot.
Well, if it isn't Dr. Neo Cortex. Let's look at story next. The plot has a lot more layers this time around than simply save the girls, save the world. This time, Neo Cortex finds these pink crystals of great power and decides to use Crash to collect them for him since he has no Earth operatives left on the surface. Meanwhile, his former assistant, Brio, wants Crash to collect shrimp to destroy the Cortex Vortex, and who also sends his agent to stop Crash from collecting crystals. Then we have Coco, Crash's sister, who comes out of nowhere with no explanation. I guess they thought the girlfriend was too sexy for kids. Anyway, she helps Crash see through Cortex and centers the plot, and after defeating Cortex, if you want 100% in the game, You collect all the shims and then Brio destroy the Cortex once and for all. Then we have the graphics. They're amazing. They hold up even better than the first game. And this is a game that came out all the way back in 1997. That's only 7 years ago. So that's pretty impressive. Crash looks even better in this game than he did in the first one, and all the stages are well designed and look great. Finally, we have the music. It's great. It gets you into the mood to play and accompanies each stage you play rather well. Even the boss stages. I still have the title screen music stuck in my head. I have no complaints. Once again, I find myself really struggling to find any flaws in the game. It's not a perfect game, but there aren't many mistakes made to make it less entertaining. If you don't like hard games, then later stages may not be for you. But every game should up the difficulty the further you get into it. That's how games are done. Overall, Crash Bandicoot 2 is a superior sequel to its predecessor, with more interesting level designs, enemies, gold, and a way more interesting plot than the first game. Also introducing and reintroducing different characters and bosses. Not to mention that Cortex's voice is the best voice he gets in the entire trilogy. Nothing more to say but get it. That's it for this edition of TJ Reviews. As always, don't forget to like, and I'll see you next time.